businesses that I manage, they deal exclusively in cash.
Wow, busy guy.
You're welcome to stage, the one, the only
Magic Mike.
Yeah, while co-host and I were watching a real man's movie, y'all were watching that gay shit.
Yeah, we were watching that actually not gay shit while you were watching incest.
What? People
Well, hey,
like us?
if you have to choose between the two,
Well, to be honest, like you go, okay, well, why would I want to see that? That seems kind of gay. But there's no homosexuality anywhere in this film of any kind.
Yeah.
It's all dudes fucking really incredibly hot naked chicks. Like, and it's kind of a Boogie Nights type of thing, really.
Let me wait a minute. I just want to say, let me defend this. Incest is very macho.
Come on.
everybody's doing it.
Dudes.
Yeah.
Well, that's twice as manly then, isn't it? By the way,
Not
have
that
you
there's
been?
anything
It
wrong
only
with that.
created a hit television show.
Well, I'm wearing that cologne right now. Incest.
To be fair,
By Fabergé.
maybe there was gay stuff. I couldn't even tell over the screaming harridans that made up our audience. It wouldn't shut up for the first 40 minutes of it.
You know what, man? I ain't gonna lie. The fact that like all the women or girls in the audience were screaming when it first started, I'm like, oh, not this shit. But it didn't take me long to go like, you know what? They're having a good time.
Yeah, you started screaming too. You were like, take it off.
Well, I know this is like the big summer movie that you guys have been looking forward to. I mean, did it live up to your expectations? I
And
mean,
when they yelled "take it off," Leon got up and took his shirt off. Start collecting dollars throughout the house.
did it follow the comic book? I mean, did it?
It was the best time I've had since I stole Matthew McConaughey's proctology examination.
All I can say is that Mike is a terrible wizard. I don't know why this is called Magic Mike. I don't get it at all. The only thing he can make disappear is his clothes.
So it's not as gay as Harry Potter, is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, where's the magic wand? Oh, wait.
Oh, you see a few of those. But to be fair, you get to see everybody naked.
Well, you know
get
what?
to see
You know what? Olivia Munn. That was one of the cool things about it. Like, it opens, like, Channing Tatum is naked in the bed. He gets up and the women are all screaming. I'm like, this shit. But then it immediately pans over and Olivia Munn is topless. I'm like, all right, man.
You have my
wait,
attention.
she is?
Oh, yeah.
She is.
She is.
absolutely
Oh, yeah.
And it's the very first scene. So you go like, all right, well, if you're going to be an equal opportunity, then I'm all right with
A
it.
little something for everybody.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of, in a weird sort of way, I'm happy they're making movies like this now, because why not? Guys, movies have been predominantly naked chicks forever, and like, just like, hey, whatever. It's like, we're going to objectify chicks. Fuck you. It makes money. And now here's one for the ladies. The difference being that, like, when we go see those other movies, we don't go, woo! And catcall all the way through it. You fucking animal.
I was about to say, we're not assholes when we go watch those movies. When people are like, getting naked, we're not going, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, this whole feminist argument, men are pigs thing, it's over, because women, you are like the pigs in Hannibal, okay? You're like carnivorous monsters.
See, I love watching because I just sit outside and look at it and go,
Yeah, right?
Now we see.
It's scary. It's scary just being in a movie and seeing that trailer for Magic Mike where the girls are losing their shit. Where I'm like, oh my God, this is probably going to be the biggest summer movie of all time.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing women post things on the internet where they have pictures of all the cast of Magic Mike with a quote underneath it that says, "Who cares what this movie's about?"
I thought it said at the top, rise.
And you know, the thing is, you think about something like that, oh great, something with a bunch of men getting naked and who cares about the plot. And it turned out to actually be a good movie.
Well, that's the funny thing is like they sell it like just a really one of those insipid plot type things. You're like, all right, so it's going to be a stripper and he falls in love with his friend's sister and they have a problem because she can't deal with him being a stripper. And really that's like a subplot to the main film, which is really just kind of a slice of life type of thing.
Yeah, so it's not the female version of Showgirls.
No, not at all.
It's closer to Flashdance, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
just what I was thinking about.
Yeah. No, I kept thinking, I was like, okay, this is kind of Flashdance where they do a construction worker by day and at night they go to a club where they do these elaborate dance numbers. Although having never been to a male strip club,
Sure.
I don't.
I know somebody in this room has
You
been.
want a season pass to La Bear. What are you talking about?
I don't know that they don't actually do these kind of shows because like with Flashdance, it's like, yeah, honey, that's great for the movie and all, but like if you went to a real strip club where a woman was doing all this shit, you'd be like, that's real sweet. Now come sit in my lap. Knock it off with the costume.
Well,
but women like a big show, so I see like, you know what? That's probably how this goes down.
Any stripper was as talented as, and I hate to say it, but Channing Tatum as a dancer, which he was in fact a dancer.
Yeah.
But the shit he does on stage, you're like, you wouldn't be working at a strip club. You would have a professional career, which is apparently what ended up happening.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
there you
that's
go.
what happened.
But yeah, the guy moves like he's like in a Jackie Chan movie. You're like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude, tone it down.
It makes so much sense now because I didn't know that he actually used to be a stripper. Because now I always thought, I always used to describe him as a walking piece of baloney. So I guess that makes complete fucking sense.
Well, you know, I mean, for somebody who started out as a stripper, he's done pretty well for
At
himself.
what, age 19?
Yeah, and I don't know, Corey. I feel like I'm coming over to your camp to be vice president of the Channing Tatum fan club.
I'm kind of there too.
Because he's really, the thing about him is he started off as a horrible actor, just a big,
Horrible.
just like he was just like a big neck and some huge ears and a square jaw. But you watch him over a short period of time actually try, like, make the effort to get better, and he has. I mean, like I didn't like him in The Eagle, but I appreciate the fact that he did that.
Well, you know what? This doesn't surprise me. I knew that there would be a point where that charisma, that screen presence would get to you, those pecs.
He is
Wow.
pretty.
Wait.
Those abs.
Let's not go there.
That tight ass.
I know. You
I knew it was only a matter of
really
time.
went over to Corey's camp.
Well, maybe I'm not quite in your camp.
Leon, there's plenty of room in the tent.
No. Maybe
Chris Hemsworth
I'm gonna
is like,
drive
what
by
about
the camp. I'm gonna look at the camp for my
you'll
car.
be back. Hey, bring the marshmallows and the chocolate.
Well, I mean, you're right to a certain extent. And I think part of it is let's not forget, this is a Steven Soderbergh
That's
film.
what makes this
And there's
movie.
one thing that Steven Soderbergh can do really well is direct actors. I mean,
Yeah.
he knows how to get the best performance out of people. I mean, God, he directed the only movie that Jennifer Lopez is tolerable in,
Right.
That's like even become an expression for me. It was like the out of sight effect, with a director who's so good he can make even a bad actor look good. So it's hard to tell here how much of that might be Soderbergh's influence. He's so good, but Tatum really does turn in a remarkable performance here.
Yeah.
I mean, he is so convincing that the biggest problem with this film is just that the woman who's supposed to be his love interest here is just like a dead weight in the film.
Who's
I mean,
the
she's like
actress?
so blank.
Cody Horn.
Yeah,
I've
Cody
never seen her
Horn.
before. And yeah, Steven Soderbergh, man, he might be a genius, but he's not a magician.
He can't
do
get-
it. This is one of these things where, like, I don't care how bad you think Channing Tatum is. He looks like Olivier compared to this girl who's his love interest.
Damn.
She's so
everybody's
boring.
like, okay, I tell you who knocks it out of the park is Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he gives like the performance of his life.
And he's
Well-
he's a veteran stripper
Yeah,
who owns
This
the
is
club.
apparently
his character's Dallas, and he
it's a
owns the
sequel to
club.
Dazed and Confused,
Right,
Because
right.
this is him like 20 years later, that same character from
I mean, his
Dazed and
catchphrase is
Confused.
"all right." And he's
Seriously.
playing bongos naked on the stage.
Really?
He's doing everything.
Wow.
But
And this is his club, right?
it's
Yeah,
just his
he's the
club,
owner.
but he fucking puts it all out there. I mean,
So to
like to the point. But it's to the point where like you go like, wow, anybody else might be embarrassed. Especially like to be like, you look at how much he's worked on his body to get it perfect, but he still has an old face. So he's got that guy who's like, he's still trying to be the hot kid, even though you're like, man, you're almost 45. There comes a point when you need to have some dignity, but he's able to like put it out
What do
there.
you mean have some dignity, ain't he? What's undignified about having a hot body and getting laid every other night by hot chicks?
Well,
That's the
when you
thing,
have a
like-
face like Yoda with pecs, I guess that doesn't work.
Matthew McConaughey is not that bad looking.
No, he's not.
No.
He's not. He's still good looking.
Y'all stop hating.
In the imaginary
Why you
context,
getting all mad?
Yeah. In the imaginary context,
You leave my man alone.
That's his boss.
God damn it.
in the
the one
context
running
of
that
this
tent.
film, when you go to these strip clubs, it's nothing but amazing hotties who go to them, which is patently not true. I would imagine.
Yeah, there's
So-
anything that's unrealistic is like when they this club they dance in, all the women, all the milfs who come in, they're all pretty good looking.
knockouts.
Like
Yeah.
there's like maybe one or two fat women in there. And you're like, you know what? I'm pretty sure these
It's not
clubs
what it's like
that's not the
at
ratio
all.
because they make it seem like, man, it'd be a dream to dance there.
Yeah,
You're like,
pretty sure
Bizarre
it's more
world.
like it's 40% gay guys and 60% like 40 or older.
Actually, that's not
fucking
true.
They won't let gay
They
guys
will not
in.
let
Yeah.
gay guys in there.
Oh, really?
Don't act like you don't know. How many times you got turned
know?
down?
How do you
I mean,
know?
I've heard that they don't let gay guys.
Because I was in line when you got turned away. I was right behind you, man.
He went to go see his
bet you
roommate
were.
Raymond perform.
Actually, that is how. If I could just take a slight detour here, we know this because I know people are like, well, how y'all know? But everybody who knows the Raymond story, my ex roommate Raymond, he tried to be a male stripper,
Oh, my
and we would
God.
die to see what he
Yeah,
would do.
we all went down there to go cheer him on, and they were like, no dudes.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
that's the first thing when he came in, it was me, Leon, you weren't there.
No, I was not there.
Yeah, sure you weren't. You
We're
were
very
already
good.
inside.
No, I was at the strip
He's
club.
got to make a living. Give
It was
him a
about
break.
and Sammy. Yeah, and we when we walked in, the owner looked right up and said, "Hey guys, this is not a gay club. And we were like, hey, man, we ain't gay. My friend is in there getting ready to try out for this. I need some support.
And he said, whatever, homo. Get out of here.
But then they had like this big dude come around the back and it was like, well, no, we are certainly not gay today. Yeah, it was a good evening, sir. So we know. That's how we know.
So, okay, fair enough. I'm sure I believe you. Anyway, we still haven't talked about what the actual plot of this is. The basics, which is that like Channing Tatum is been doing this for a while. He's supposed to be almost 30, is what they keep harping on. Like he's starting to get to where he might be too old to be doing this anymore. And he during the day has a construction job, and he decides to take this kind of incompetent kid who can't do that right, who gets fired after
Alex
one
Pettyfer
day.
is the
Alex
kid.
Pettyfer under his wing to go work at the strip club with him, and within one day, Alex is up there stripping as well. And the story follows as their friendship builds, as he starts to notice Alex Pettyfer's sister, which, like I said, I don't know why. Cody Horn's a dead piece of fish.
She really is.
Yeah, she's just terrible. And, the various parties and seeing some of the life. I mean, it's very, like I said, when I describe it as Boogie Nights, that really is the closest thing I thought of
Yeah, you
watching
see the seedy
this.
underbelly.
And that really is the whole plot.
So do we have this whole thing here where he brought this kid in, they have a friendship, but then this kid is rising. He's maybe that's the wrong word.
It's not.
He's starting to be a star.
There's not competition.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
It's more of a like buying into all the bad stuff that goes with hanging out at a bar all the time. And
I mean, Channing Tatum is smart. He runs several businesses. He has a main business he wants to get off the ground.
Yeah,
and he
furniture.
can't because the banks aren't loaning. He doesn't have good credit because all he deals in with is cash. He's got his nest egg saved up. He's just waiting. He's a stripper with a dream.
So are you in business? Why aren't you in?
I will be as soon as the banks start making the competitive rates and loans, and I will. Look, I've been saving for 6 years. I mean, why do you think I'm doing all these stupid businesses and stripping? It's just, I don't know. I've saved about 13 grand. It's gonna happen eventually.
Wow, 13. That's a lot of ones.
There are some fives in there.
Oh, okay. No 20s?
You don't want to know what I have to do for 20s.
You know what? I don't.
You know what? Let's
Yeah.
drink these, and I'll show you what I do
No,
for 20s.
that's okay.
But of all the strippers, he seems to be the one who's the smartest, who knows, I'm gonna do this for a while and it's gonna take me someplace till I can get to do what I really want to do.
yeah, his head's screwed on straight. He's not one of those guys who's like, I just do this and then I get up in the morning and I go. I mean, he's not straight edge or anything. I mean, the guy can still party,
Yeah.
but he all knows where the limits are too.
Right,
He knows
right.
where to draw the line. And the movie, if anything, is about this kid who he's taking under his wing, slowly going well past the line. And
Yeah, it's one like their friendship, it's fun to watch. That's the thing. The first hour of this movie is just pure funny. Like everything about it is funny. The dance numbers are elaborate and funny and fun to watch. The dialogue is fun. You see these two guys hanging out and just doing cool shit. It's like, wow, this actually, for something I would think that I wouldn't hate on paper, I'd be like, I don't want to see this. I'm having a great fucking time watching this movie. But eventually the plot does come together where that kid, he's starting to fuck up. And Channing Tatum has promised his sister, I'm gonna watch out for him, but this kid's fucking up in ways where he can't even see what's going on. And by the time he does, it's too late.
And I would say that I didn't enjoy the second half of the movie as much as I did the first
Sure.
half, partially for that. And also, I mean, it's 2 hours, which is too long. It doesn't need to be as long as it is. But Soderbergh does a lot of interesting stuff with even the most tedious setups because he's an experimental director, always has been. And there's a lot of stuff in here that just what he's doing with his camera is pretty fucking neat.
I noticed that too, some great camera work, just ways to take what could anybody else's hand would just be the most mediocre movie that
Like the way the camera goes under the balls and
Around the ass
There's a-
cheeks. Yeah.
There's a perspective.
Did you get a Batman?
we just cannot get out of this without
did
you
you-
guys doing
did
it.
I know we're childish. I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
There's a perspective-based penis pump scene in here. It's one of the funniest things
He's
I've
right.
seen.
It's
in
not
this
a
shit.
joke. It really is.
wow.
Really fucking funny.
is.
And we're the childish ones.
It's in the movie. I
It's in
didn't
the
make
movie,
it up. There's a lot of there's a whole party scene thing where it's this crazy party that he does a lot of stuff with colors and angles that you're like, wow, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
But I still got to criticize him for fucking using that sepia filter on everything for his last several movies. Everything in this movie is yellow.
Soderbergh.
Yeah. It's just same thing as Contagion. Remember that? It was
Yeah,
just yellow. And you're like, dude, would you piss on the negative? What the fuck?
It's funny that you should say that because, and co-host and I were just talking about this. When Steven Soderbergh, he's one of the few directors who has gone mainstream but still maintains some independent sort of spirit when he makes his movies, and that'll either help to to pump up. No, again, maybe wrong choice of words. To just add something very interesting to a movie that you just don't see.
Add something extra.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Damn.
I'm not Beavis and
Butthead.
All right, you got me. I see.
We got him.
Yeah, I get it. I'm stupid, all right, but you know, no, he does something in the movies where that he's one of the guys who can afford to experiment even in mainstream movies, and maybe that'll make a movie very interesting. But then sometimes he does it and just gets crazy with it to where he just loses me completely.
Well, it's weird. Like sometimes he has such an interesting subject matter that I find the way he plays around with it not that interesting. Like I thought Contagion, like great subject, goes on too long. His experimentation actually gets kind of old. And
Yeah, I felt that way too.
Boring subject I could care less about. He does really interesting things with it. Kept my attention.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, from what you guys are telling me, this seems like more like that movie Less Than Zero, where you have that one guy who just, you know, he keeps going on the edge, but he has people that are trying to prevent him from going over the edge.
I know it sounds like that because, you know, when I say it, it sounds like it has as much as importance. But like Less Than Zero was all about that. And with this, even though you think that's going to happen, it doesn't come in till late in the movie.
And once again, just like the relationship with the sister, it's really kind of just part of it. Like it's not the movie's focus. It really is a slice of life thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Magic Mike is the main character, and it just kind of follows him through all these other things that are going on around him trying to build his furniture business eventually.
Which is why I asked about the main female lead, because in the trailers, it seems like it's playing that plot more than anything else, what you guys are talking
about. You can see
about.
that in the trailer. The trailer's totally made for the female audience.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're going to get them there for Channing Tatum, and we're going to give them a love story that they can latch on to. And that love story is kind of barely played upon. I mean, it's what finishes the movie. And it's the weakest thing about it.
It's almost there only so they have a place to finish the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, you know, because otherwise where do we chapter stop on this? I have no idea. It's not the type of movie that lends itself to that. So you're like, well, let's throw in a love subplot, and then there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, so what are your ratings then?
Well, the thing is, man, I that first hour, I love that movie so much. I really
So you really love that first hour?
Yeah, I really
He could not get enough dick. It's true.
No, he said it. I didn't. I was backing off. I was actually being
No, there's an
sure.
actor here named Richard.
all the actors are really good, but Matthew McConaughey was just like, every time he came on screen, I was just like, wow, dude, hats off to you for just everything you put in.
So you can see why he is the megastar he is.
Yeah, you really can.
It's a hell of a
Magic Matthew.
performance.
Yeah.
and Channing Tatum, he's got lots of charisma. You love following him. Alex Petty, somebody I normally hate, but even just him being in Channing's aura, just getting dragged along, he came across okay.
Oh, you sound like my mother. How you spell roach? Aura. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was just pure enjoyment for me for that first hour, and also because of the fact that it was a surprise. I'm like, I love being surprised, and this made it great. It's just when it comes to, and maybe it's an hour and a half, like, you know, that you get into the last hour, some of it is more plot, but in the thing that kept it from being a full price, it's still a very high matinee for me. But the lead actress, Cody Horn, because I can't express to you how just terrible she is. She's got this weird underbite. When she delivers her lines, half the time she's half smiling. When she's supposed to have intense emotion that will make the scene, she doesn't. So the fact that Mike is willing to give everything for her, you just can't quite buy it. And you need to. For that end, you need to buy the fact that, like, oh, you know what, she's worth it. And he's like, she's not. What he has to give up for her, it's like, I'm sorry, she's not her.
Well,
so it just comes, it's an extremely high matinee for me.
So especially considering that, like, really one of the big character turns in Channing Tatum's character Mike happens because of something she says. And in the scene, she plays it off like, oh, she's irritated she had to look up from her magazine for a second. You know? I mean, really, there's just no impact to it, to where when it does affect him, I was like, wait, what? What are they talking about? Because it just didn't feel like that scene had any importance at all. She is really terrible in this film. And it's a shame because, like I said, everybody's good. This is Channing Tatum saying, look, I swear I can actually act if you give me the right kinds of parts. And I mean, hell, he actually did this. So, I mean,
You can't get no righter than this.
yeah, exactly.
Wait till G.I. Joe.
You didn't mention the fact that, like, just in a physical sense, he just is astonishing in this movie.
Oh, yeah,
like
the
what he
dance stuff
actually
he
does,
does,
his dance numbers, the guy's fucking talented.
When he does it, his moves.
I mean, I'm like, I hate to even say it because I've been on the biggest fuck Channing Tatum like bandwagon. I want him to
But now
stop
you're in a
being in
different fuck
movies.
Channing Tatum.
No, let's not go crazy.
Are you going to be?
I'm still dating Chris Hemsworth.
Are you going to leave me alone on this fuck Channing Tatum train?
Cyrus, there's room to did.
And this is going to make it even worse now. But I was like, I kind of want to see him in a musical now.
You know what? I can actually see that.
I don't know if he
really
can sing, but he certainly can dance.
And you saw the first Step Up movie that he was in, right?
Oh, was he in the first Step Up?
That's how he
movie?
came. That's
See,
how I saw him.
I don't think I ever saw the first one, but yeah. So now I got to go watch it.
There's your musical.
Well, 3D is the best one anyway. So, but no, I'm with you. I give it a matinee. It's not perfect. I don't think I liked the first half quite as much as you did, but it had my attention right off the bat. Thank you very much, Olivia Munn Boobies.
Yeah.
And keeps you going through there. It is generally a fun movie. Lots of, as you were saying about something else recently, you love a good, crazy, out of control party scene. And there's quite a few of those in here.
Yeah.
And it's entertainingly made. I don't know what to tell you. I seriously, I would not have put Magic Mike on my films I thought I'd really like this year list, but there it is.
You know what? Good review, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Too bad women are not going to notice anything that you're talking about.
This gives you incentive to make that Magic Raymond movie you've been always talking about.
Working on it, man. Working on it.
Dude, that's your movie right there. Raggedy Raymond.
That too, the law says that you cannot touch.
But I think I see a lot of lawbreakers up in this house.
Wow, it's a lot of ones.
There were some 5s in there.
Oh, okay. No 20s?
You don't want to know what I have to do for 20s. So you're going to come to show tonight?
No.
You're going to come to show tonight?
No.
You just said over there that you like the show.
That doesn't mean I'm going to go again.